Hello again, basketball fans. Welcome to High School Hoops Weekly. I'm Rachel George, joined by Tim Hauer. We are out here at East Bladen High School, where the girls basketball team is still undefeated, and you'll have an interview later in the show with star players Courtney Melvin and Jasmine Kemp. But first, let's get started with a different girls team. Ashley girls been able to keep it going and are playing well at this point in the season.
Yeah, they took a stranglehold on the Mid-Eastern Conference on Tuesday night with a win against Laney. That puts them 2 games ahead of both Laney and New Hanover now. New Hanover's win over Hargard puts them in a tie for second. They're both 3-2. Ashley 5-0. They've swept everybody in the conference. And as we've said all along, I think they have the best starting 5, the most experience, and they were probably the favorites to win. So they're still going to have to play, and they'll get Laney again and New Hanover again. So both of those teams will be wanting to come after them, but I expect the Screaming Eagles to finish on top.
Well, they really have come far. Remember, after the Time Warner Cable Holiday Classic, we were talking about kind of not living up to expectations, and they are the most talented, but weren't always playing like that. And they've really progressed since then, and I think they're 12-2 or 12-3 or something right now, so they're doing pretty well for this point in the season. We'll switch over to boys real quick. A game I covered the other day, Pender against Wallace, and two of the, we've been saying all season, the 2 best teams in that Tri-County Conference. And really, Pender pulls away with the win, improves to 12-1, remains unbeaten in the Tri-County. First loss for Wallace, but they're still 11-1. And it was a matter of size versus speed, as we've been saying all year, with Pender, 6'10", Keenan Pittman, and then Addison Sproul at 6'4", and Paxton Lee at 6'3". They really have a big front line for a 1A school. Wallace, run. Devontae Herring is their point guard, and he's a speedy little running back for them, one of the fastest I've seen. So that was the difference there. Ultimately, Pender out-rebounds them 40-15, and that ended up making the advantage for them, and still both regional teams, I think. And I know you have them voting for them in the polls, but 2 teams that I think we're going to be seeing in Greenville.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Wallace still probably not quite in basketball season yet. That they started a lot later than everybody else because of football season. But I think the thing that'll help them when they get into playoff time is the confidence of those kids, because a lot of those kids played football. You win a state title, it gives you some confidence. So, I think they'll make a nice run in the playoffs too. Yeah,
that's what Coach Steve Robinson said. He said we've had 12 games, about 10 practices since they won that title. So certainly they are continuing to improve. As we mentioned before, we are out here at East Bladen for a reason. The girls are 15-0, still unbeaten in the Waccamaw Conference. What's your kind of take on how they're doing and how they can do this year?
Well, obviously when you talk about East Bladen, you've got to talk about the 2, Courtney and Jasmine. But the thing that impressed me against North Brunswick is they have some other players that can step up, and that's the thing. Patty ever says they're going to go as far as those other players can take them. You know what you're going to get from your 2 stars. You're going to need some other girls to step up. And Janet Hatcher, a good player. She can knock down the 3. They've got some other girls. And I covered them against North Brunswick and looked really good on the offensive end. And I know Patty's continuing to stress defense. As the old saying goes, defense wins championships. So if they can continue to improve on the defensive end, the sky's the limit for this team.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're second in the NC Preps poll. You're voting them pretty high. Probably another good bet to get back to Greenville. Been there 5 years, been in the final the past 4 years. So all the players in this system, that's just the norm. They know what it takes to get there, and hopefully can maybe get over that hump this year and maybe take a state title and then move up to 2A.
We're here joined by East Bladen center Courtney Melvin and point guard Jasmine Kemp. And ladies, y'all are off to a great start this year, undefeated, as it's been in the past. Just tell me a little bit about the conference season, and you guys are about halfway through now, and how that's been.
Well, it's been great. We take a game one at a time, and we play hard, and every team we go out there and play, we just play as mindset, go out here to win this game.
Playing between the black lines.
Stay focused at all times.
I was at your game at North Brunswick, and they're the second place team in the league. You guys handled their pressure really well. Teams, are obviously going to try to focus on you, Jasmine, as the point guard, and try to take the ball out of your hands. How important is it for you to allow your other teammates to step up? Some of the lesser known players for you guys.
It is very important because a lot of pressure on me will cause them to have to step up, and they do that. So it kind of helps a lot. But I think they'll be able to do it. It's pretty good.
You know, it's become routine for you guys to get to Greenville and to get to the regionals 5 straight years. Is that just kind of a mindset for you guys now? You come into the season, and is that, you know, ultimately a goal every season?
It is, because we've been there twice as long as we've been here, and it's a good feeling when you get there. And you just want to play hard when you get there. So you just make it far and keep playing. You never want to stop.
And the last 2 years, you guys have come up short against Bishop McGinnis in the 1A. You guys are up to 2A now. How bad do you guys want to finish the season, you know, with the title?
We want it. We want it bad.
Thanks, Tim. Well, that's it for us this week. Be sure to check Star News Varsity for any stats, standings, and anything else you need about area basketball. But for this week, for Tim Hauer and myself, Rachel George, this has been High School Hoops Weekly on StarNewsOnline.com.